So my name is Tamara Russell, also known as P.O.C. P.O.C stands for Proof of Consciousness. I am a 29-year-old woman. I hail from the Washington, D.C. area, but I'm now a community resident of West Philadelphia. I love West Philadelphia. I always say, like, Philadelphia adopted me ever since I got here. Like, you know how they say Plymouth Rock landed on us. I feel like I landed on Plymouth Rock, coming to Philadelphia. I love what the city has offered. I started out doing an internship at WRD. And when I was at that internship at WRD, which is the only Black radio station in the state of Pennsylvania, it really just brought something out of me that I didn't even know that I had. And once it came out of me, I couldn't tuck it back in. Like, I couldn't find a pocket to put it back in. So I just kept it with me, and 5 years later, here we are in a space like this talking about a newspaper, print, black and white, having a tangible copy of the things that I do. Why print? Print is it's the immortal, it makes you immortal. It's the longevity, the long lasting. Even when I'm not here, you can always go somewhere in somebody's archives and be able to pull out this black and white thing. One day I plan on being in a historian's file one day with this newspaper. So as I was creating Revive Radio is an internet-based platform, right? So it's not something that you can reach out and touch, but you can also be a part of it and engage. That's why Revive is alive, because we made the internet engaging, right? But being able to get this black and white, this paper, this print in your hand, and then also it's able to amplify voices that I've always wanted to amplify. Maybe not necessarily having their own radio segment, but they have their own pocket within the newspaper. They write, they draw, they create. Being able to give a creative space to different artists within the newspaper has always been a dream of mine. Just a little backstory. Growing up watching Black sitcoms, one of the Black sitcoms that I watched was Living Single. And Queen Latifah, she was the main character in Living Single, and she ran a magazine entitled Flavor Magazine. And it was just like the Ebony and Jet magazine of TV at the time for Black sitcoms. So seeing what she was able to do with that magazine, and now being able to have print is just like, I'm just so excited, because this is like a dream come true, being able to put flavor in people's ears and people's eyes, and being able to touch it and be like, yo, this is incredible, and having some type of resource. And the best part as well is like being in 2022. So it's not your average Washington Post, New York Times. Like, you're not going to get the average black and white print. You're going to get color. You're going to get the sprinkles, the glitter, the jazz. And that's why I'm super excited about being able to do this with the local, because the local is not average. It's not something that you would typically come to say, oh, this is just my daily newspaper. No, it's like, oh, I'm coming to the local because I know I'm going to get a little bit of art and entertainment. I know I'm going to get some street culture. I know I'm going to get some political insight. Like, it's more to it than just, the daily news. So that's why I print. That's exactly why I print. Running into Steve and Carolyn has truly been a blessing. I think we complement each other, and that's why we work so well. From the jump, they quoted something that I said in an interview before even meeting them. If you're going to come to the table with something. And that's exactly what they did. And from there, we were able to collaborate on different projects. Within a year, within a 365 calendar year, we were able to collaborate on different projects to bring this, project to life, in a real paramount kind of way. Why the local is because the local chose me. The local sees something in me that I always knew I had, but to have someone to tell me and to bring it out of me, even more, bringing on other people who want to create content, create, media structure, media production, the sound of what it means, to really inform people about that news that's for them, about them. I really feel like me and the local We just, you know, once we got on it, we got on the train, and we've been on the same track ever since. So being transparent, you know, this is my first time working with someone outside of my race in this capacity, you know, so being able to have these conversations with a white man and a white woman, and we both are still on the same, all three of us, I should say, are still on the same page, or we're eager to learn, or we're like, yo, what does that mean? Or we don't judge each other because we don't know what something is, or what, you know, so we're in a triangle trying to really connect all the dots, just bringing hip to it, and then just opening the rainbow of not just northwest or northeast of section or Germantown section of the city, being able to go to southwest, south, you know, West Philadelphia, northern Liberties, you know, Fishtown, wherever, and still make the same amount of noise that we were making in the Germantown section. But just being a little bit louder, coming in like, yep, you know, so just being a little bit more louder. That's about it. Northwest readers, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for teaching me what community is, what community reading is, you know, what being hyper local truly is. We don't want to take away from what the Germantown section or the Northwest section has to offer in the city. So if any of you want to continue to contribute, and if you have any noise that you want to make, or you want us to get a little bit louder over there, please don't be shy, reach out, because this is where it started and it can still be here. We are now moving from internet radio into print newspaper. Everything we do at Revive Radio is a FUBU effect. It's for the people and about the people. So this newspaper will continue to be a replica of that. And we want to make sure that we are putting ourselves in a position so your voices and your stories can be heard even on this platform, you know, in a newspaper article type format. Of course, we're in a digital age where we're like, yeah, please like, share, comment, all that good stuff. But if you're talking about me, talk about me. Continue to talk about me. You know, continue to talk about the brand, Revive Radio, Revive Media, Revive's Alive, Revive P.O.C., however you want to roll it out your tongue, you know, but at the same time, continue to have that conversation, because I'm going to continue to have the conversation surrounding you, what you're doing, the community that you're involved in, and how we can help your community. So continue to have that same conversation surrounding how Revive can revive your community, how we can bring back the unity in community, and what we can do for you that's about you, that can help where you are, by meeting you exactly where you are, by starting that conscious conversation. So that's how you can get involved, is simply continuously having the conversation, whether you're talking about me or talking about things that are happening in your community, because the more you talk about it, the more I want to know about it. You know what I mean? And the more I want to know about it, the more my supporters and listeners and viewers want to know about it as well. So don't be quiet, find your voice, you know, and continue to be that hyper, as Carolyn wrote, I'm going to take this from you, I'm going to be using this a lot. Continue to be hyper vocal, definitely.